Hey guys, Mr. Backerwick here. In this video, we're going to solve two-step equations. Now, just like we saw with one-step equations, our goal when we're solving a two-step equation is still to get the variable alone. It's just going to take an extra step this time. So the two steps that we're going to look at using, step number one says that we're going to look for addition or subtraction in our equation to get rid of by doing the opposite operation. Then, after we get rid of any addition or subtraction, we're going to look for multiplication or division to get rid of, again, using the opposite operation. So in this example, we've got the equation 5x plus 9 equals 24. Step number one says that we want to look for addition or subtraction to get rid of within our equation. So I see this plus 9 happening on the left-hand side. And in order to get rid of a plus 9, well, the opposite of adding 9 is subtracting 9. So I need to subtract 9 from both sides of my equation. Now on the left-hand side, the plus 9 and the minus 9 will cancel each other out, so we just have the 5x left over. On the right-hand side, when we take 24 and subtract 9 from that, we should get 15. Now step number two says we want to look for multiplication or division to get rid of. So on the left-hand side, when it says 5x, that really means 5 times x. So to get rid of multiplication, we have to divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. Now on the left-hand side, that times 5 and divided by 5 are going to cancel each other out, leaving us with just our plain x. And then on the right-hand side, 15 divided by 5 should give me an x value of 3. Now we're not quite done because we do want to double check this to make sure that 3 is actually the solution. So we're going to go back up to the original equation and we're going to plug in that x value of 3 to make sure that it balances out. So we've got 5 times 3 plus 9 and we're hoping that equals 24. Well, 5 times 3 is 15. So left-hand side is now 15 plus 9 and we're still hoping that's equal to 24. Well, when we add 15 and 9 together, we do get 24. So we've got ourselves a matching set of numbers here. This works out. So 3 is, in fact, our x value solution. Next example we're looking at here says x over 4 minus 3 is equal to 2. So remember, step number one said that we wanted to look for any addition or subtraction to get rid of first. So I see this minus 3 happening on the left-hand side. To get rid of minus 3, we're going to have to add 3 to both sides of our equation. So the minus 3 and the plus 3 cancel each other out, so we get x over 4 equals, and then on the right-hand side we do that addition and we get 5. Now we've got some division happening on the left-hand side. Remember that fraction bar means divided by, so to get rid of division, we're going to have to multiply both sides by this 4 that's on the bottom of that fraction. So the times 4 and divided by 4 cancel each other out, leaving us with just a plain x. And then on the right-hand side, 5 times 4 should give me 20. Now remember, we do want to check our answer, so we're going to take that 20 and plug it back in for our x in the original equation to make sure that it works out. So we would have 20 over 4 minus 3, and we're hoping that's going to equal 2. So when we take 20 and divide it by 4, we get 5 as an answer. So 5 minus 3 equals 2. When we do that subtraction on the left-hand side, 5 minus 3 is 2, so we get 2 equals 2, and because we've got a matching set of numbers, that does confirm that our x value is 20. Next example that we're going to run through says 4y minus 4 equals 16. Step number one, we want to look at getting rid of that minus 4. So in order to get rid of minus 4, we're going to add 4 to both sides of our equation. So on the left-hand side, that's going to leave me with just 4y equals. Then on the right-hand side, 16 plus 4 should give me 20. Then we're going to have to get rid of that times 4. So in order to get rid of multiplication by 4, we are going to divide both sides by 4. So on the left-hand side, we're going to get y equals, and then on the right-hand side, 20 divided by 4 is 5. Then we're going to go back up to our original equation, and we're going to plug in that y value of 5 just to make sure that everything works out the way it's supposed to. So 4 times 5 minus 4, and we're hoping that equals 16. Now 4 times 5 is 20, so 20 minus 4 equals 16. When we do that subtraction on the left-hand side, 20 minus 4 is 16, so we get ourselves a matching set of numbers here, so that does confirm that our y value is 5. Now this example looks a little bit different because there's two separate variables on the left-hand side. We've got that 7x and then we've also got this 4x. In order to solve this one, we're going to use something called combining like terms. So these are like terms because they're both x's with numbers on them. So we can actually combine these by doing the subtraction that's happening on the left-hand side. And that's going to count as our step 1. So if we have 7x's and we take away 4x's, then we would have 3x's left over on the left-hand side. But then we want to get rid of that 3 that's attached to our x. And remember, 3x means 3 times x. So to get rid of that times 3, we're going to divide both sides by 3. So the 3 on top and on bottom will cancel each other out, leaving us with x equals. And then on the right-hand side, we're going to have to actually do that division. So 21 divided by 3 is 7. Now we should go back up to our original equation and plug in this 7 to check our answer. So 7 times 7 minus 4 times 7, and we're hoping that's going to equal 21. Now when we do 7 times 7, that's 49 minus, now when we do 4 times 7, that's 28, and we're hoping this is equal to 21. Well, on the left-hand side, when we do that subtraction, 49 minus 28 is 21. So we get ourselves a matching set of numbers, which does confirm that our x value is 7. Now, you also might run into some problems where you have to do a little translating first. So here we're given a verbal phrase that we want to take and turn into an equation, and then we're also given some information that we're going to go through and solve. So this says the output of a function is 3 more than 5 times the input. So we want to think about functions with inputs and outputs, and we're going to assign variables to those. Input is our x value because that's where we plug numbers in, and our output is our y value. So we're going to use that information to help us write an equation. So this says the output is, so that's going to be y equals, because remember, is means equals. 3 more than, well, more than means we're adding. So we're going to have 3 plus, and then we've got 5 times our input. So that's going to be 5x. So that's the first thing we want to do, is we want to build this equation. Now, we're actually given a little bit of information. They want us to find the input value when the output value is 18. Now remember, output means y value. So they're really telling us that we want to use a y value of 18. So in this equation that we just wrote, I'm going to plug in that 18 for the y. So we're going to get 18 equals 3 plus 5x. And now this looks just like those two-step equations that we were solving a little bit earlier. The first thing we want to do is look for addition or subtraction that we can get rid of. So I'm looking at that positive 3, thinking we should get rid of that by subtracting 3 from both sides of our equation. So on the left-hand side, 18 minus 3 is going to give me 15. On the right-hand side, that positive 3 and negative 3 are canceling each other out, leaving me with just that 5x. Now, in order to get x alone, I have to get rid of this times 5, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5. On the left-hand side, 15 divided by 5 is 3, and on the right-hand side, we get just our x value. So we were asked to find the input when the output was 18, so the input value, or the x value, must be 3. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching.